All right. Tonight, Saturday, November 17th, George St-Pierre versus Carlos Condit for the undisputed UFC welterweight title. George is coming off of a 20-month layoff. He had a bad ACL tear, and he's had to go through extensive rehab to recover from that. And then, obviously, once he did that, he had to get into fight shape, which I'm sure was a time-consuming process. But here he is, apparently 120% is what he's been telling reporters, which is good. So I don't think that knee will play a big factor in the fight. With that said, we won't know anything until he fights tonight. We won't know, just how explosive he is off of that one leg. And that's going to play a big role in this fight. Because if he's not going to be nearly as effective moving around and springing off of his feet and his legs the way he does for those explosive takedowns. And Carlos Condit, the guy's got some really swift front leg kicks. He likes to kick the kneecaps, and he's really quick and really sneaky with them. So if if he somehow manages to tweak George's knee by doing that, it could be a bad night for George. But like I said, I don't think that knee's going to play a factor. We will find out soon enough. Carlos Condit, I think he has more power in his strikes. He's a stronger puncher, but I think George is better technically. He's a better boxer, and he's more aggressive. His work output is more in boxing, so he's going to have the edge in strikes landed. Condit's going to have the power edge. I think both kicks and punches Condit has an edge in the power range. But with that said, George moves around a lot. George is not going to be a stationary target. I think Condit's going to have a hard time, touching George. He's going to have a hard time getting his hands and his legs on George. George is going to keep him guessing by switching takedowns with punches. Condit's got good jiu-jitsu, so don't sleep on him on the ground. But I think George is strong enough. I mean, if you just look at the size of the two in this picture, George is huge compared to Condit. It could just be the angle, but George is usually bigger than his opponents, and he's usually able to outmuscle him and use his size to his advantage. So I think he's going to be able to kind of bully and muscle Condit around. But don't expect Condit to just sit still and let George call all the shots in this fight. I think Condit's going to have his moments. He's going to have his moments in the fight, but they're going to be very early on, like within 2 or 3 rounds. He'll have his moments. I think he'll catch George with some shots. I can see both of their faces looking, tore up after this fight. But I think George St-Pierre is going to take it after 5 rounds by decision, either unanimous or split. Not sure which one, but Carlos Condit's going to hang tough the whole fight. And like I said, he's going to have a few of his moments, but I think George St-Pierre is just a little too much for him.